there was a lot of movement when it came to the last few weeks leading up to the trade deadline, most of which consisted of Texas and Houston getting the pitching they needed, and LA's teams going all in for a World Series run, as they all try to catch Atlanta on their way there. But let's start in the Rocky Mountains, where the Colorado Rockies were no doubt going to make room for the talented young players moving up through the minor league system, and having little chance at making the playoffs. It was time to make a deal. First, we have the trade package they sent to the Los Angeles Angels, headlined by some savvy veteran position players, including C.J. Cron, Mike Moustakas, and Randal Grichuk. In return, the Rockies got left-handed pitcher Mason Albright, who stands at 6 feet tall and weighs in at 190 pounds. He's been pitching well, posting 10 wins in 16 starts, 9 of which were quality starts. Tack on a 3.40 ERA, and you can see why the Rockies organization was excited about this trade. The trade also included right-handed pitcher Jake Madden. He stands at a towering 6'6", with a slightly thinner frame, weighing 185 pounds. He's looked promising with all of his 14 starts, where 2 were considered quality starts, and has 66 strikeouts over 64.1 innings pitched. But a bloated 5.64 ERA indicates another year in the minors will be required for him to develop further. Next, we'll look at the deals made with the Atlanta Braves. Left-handed pitcher Brad Hand was sent hours before the deadline, which was the second time these two teams came together for a successful trade. Earlier, the Rockies had sent off Pierce Johnson in a deal that brought them Victor Vodnik, who sports a promising 2.76 ERA, along with 3 wins, 3 holds, and 5 saves for the 2023 campaign. In addition, the Rockies got Tanner Gordon, who pitched over 100 innings in each of the last 2 seasons, and is well on his way to do the same this season. As any casual baseball fan can see, it's quite obvious that the Colorado front office means to gather young talent, building for another chance at the World Series in future seasons. When you look at their minor league system, there's a ton of talented position players. Plus, the addition of these pitching arms makes for a more promising outlook for the struggling Colorado's team. Now, let's head north to the Windy City, where the Southside squad was in full sell mode and started off the 2023 trade market with a bang, sending Lucas Giolito and Reynaldo Lopez to the Los Angeles Angels in exchange for Edgar Quero, who has nearly a second 100-hit season under his belt and a career minor league fielding percentage of .987. Another player who was in the Angels deal was Ky Bush, a big guy at 6'6" and 240 pounds, that finished the 2022 season with a 3.67 ERA and over 100 strikeouts. The Chi-Town Sox made another large deal, this time with the other LA team, that included a batch of right-handed pitchers, Lance Lynn and Joey Kelly, in exchange for Trace Thompson, who's been bounced around the majors after leaving the White Sox in 2015 and is now returning. Another player they acquired in this deal will be right-handed pitcher Nick Nastrini, who stands at 6'3" and a muscular 215 pounds. He's had relative success in the minors, with 7 starts in 2021, resulting in a very nice 1.93 ERA. He had 27 starts in 2022, in which he completed over 115 innings pitched and struck out over 165 batters, maintaining a respectable 3.93 ERA. Another right-handed pitcher they acquired would be Jordan Leisure, who's been steadily improving while in the minors, completing over 50 innings in 2022, where he struck out over 80 batters, achieved 2 wins, 5 holds, and 7 saves. In 2023, there's been continued success when he comes out of the bullpen, and he's accumulated 2 wins, as well as 8 holds and 17 saves so far. After selling off these major pieces, the Southside squad then turned around and started buying pieces, starting with former Durham Bulls pitcher Luis Patino, who, while in the majors, has been around average for a professional pitcher. His best season came in 2021 with the Tampa Bay Rays, winning 5 games over 19 starts, and having 70 strikeouts during that time. Then, on August 4th, they made even more moves to improve the future of the team. adding 2 minor league pitchers from the Los Angeles Dodgers in exchange for international signing bonus money. One of them was right-handed pitcher Aldrin Bautista, who's been very good in the minors, maintaining a 1.55 ERA over 13 games with 11 starts and allowing only 1 home run in over 40 innings of play. He shows signs for future growth because his stats this season are better than the ones from his last. It seems like they removed all the pieces that were of value to other clubs and kept a core position of players. Then, they started looking to grow some young pitching talents to fill in for the departing veteran pitchers. Heading a few miles east, St. Louis, amidst a forgetful season of pitching, sold off the top half of its staff in order to move forward with newer pitching prospects. They started small with a deal with the Blue Jays to acquire Sammy Hernandez for Yenesis Cabrera. Then, on the 30th of July, the Cardinals made a second deal with the Jays, sending Jordan Hicks up north in exchange for Adam Kloffenstein, who stands at 6'5" and weighs in at 243 pounds. In 2019, he completed over 64 innings with an ERA of 2.24. while accumulating 4 wins and striking out over 60 batters. In 2023, he's showing the improvements he's made. He's held a 3.16 ERA over the past 2 years and is well on his way to a 3rd consecutive 100 innings pitched season. Included in the trade is Sim Roberts, who's 6'1" and 185 pounds. He's had a solid 3 years of pitching at the minor league level, including a 2019 debut season, where he appeared in 6 games, starting in 3 of them, resulting in 2 wins and an ERA of 87. Add that to the 2 seasons where he had 20 game appearances each, and that equals over 200 innings pitched and 9 wins over 41 starts, and just about 200 strikeouts. Next, the tradition-based St. Louis team sent ace Jordan Montgomery and Christian Stratton to the Texas Rangers. In return, they sent Thomas Saggese, who, over his minor league career, has had over 1,000 at-bats, over 300 hits, over 60 doubles, over 185 RBIs, and a near 300 batting average. They also sent left-handed pitcher John King, who, over a 5-year span in the minors, has over 49 games played in his career, maintaining a 3.21 ERA, with 7 wins and over 125 strikeouts in that time. And lastly, Tokoa Roby was also part of the trade, and he struck out over 200 batters in less than 175 innings pitched and won 7 games. Not finished yet, the Toronto Blue Jays organization decided to take a third pass over and acquired shortstop Paul DeJong, plus some cash for right-handed pitcher Matt Swanson, who in over 100 innings pitched has accumulated over 145 strikeouts. But he's doing especially good in 2023 and has really come out as a closer, striking out over 35 batters in less than 35 innings pitched and collecting 6 of the 7 saves he's had a chance to, while maintaining a 1.11 ERA. Not a bad deal. The Cardinals might have a few aces up their sleeve come next season. The team also made one more blockbuster deal, moving Jack Flaherty to the Baltimore Orioles in order to get infield help from second baseman Cesar Prieto, a player that in 2 seasons in the minors has over 200 hits, scored and batted in over 100 runs in both categories, and is batting .305 and .348 this season alone. A quick peek at his fielding percentages reveals a .977 at second base, .967 at third base, and .963 at shortstop, indicating some promising utility. The Orioles also sent left-handed pitcher Drew Rome, who, in 5 years of minor league service, has maintained a .379 ERA in over 435 innings pitched, and in the last 4 seasons has struck out over 100 batters, recently hitting that mark in his 2023 campaign. Another component of the trade deal would be the addition of right-handed pitcher Zach Showalter, who in his first season in the minors has an ERA of 2.37 in 30 innings pitched, with over 40 strikeouts in that time. Looks to me like the Cardinals are going to be ready to compete for a playoff spot as early as next year, and aim for the World Series in less than 5. Lastly, we come to the New York Mets, who started this season thinking they might have the roster needed to get all the way to the World Series title game, but quickly fell apart as the season unraveled due to injuries, among other things. They started their wholesaling with a trade to the Miami Marlins, sending David Robertson in exchange for Marco Vargas and Ronald Hernandez. Vargas sports a minor league career batting average of .304, which includes over 95 hits, over 25 doubles, and with his speed, he's ended up stealing over 50 bases. 2 days later, their first blockbuster deal was struck. Right-handed pitcher Max Scherzer agreed to remove his no-trade clause to be moved to the Texas Rangers, along with some cash. In return, the Metropolitans received shortstop Luis Angel Acuna, who, in 4 years of playing minor league ball, has accumulated over 390 hits, over 75 doubles, and over 30 home runs. He's also driven in over 200 RBIs and snatched over 140 bases over that time period. He's a promising addition to help back up shortstop Francisco Lindor and the rest of the MLB infielders. A day later, the Milwaukee Brewers came calling to collect a veteran bat, and they got first baseman and outfielder, utility specialist Mark Canha, plus some cash, in exchange for right-handed pitcher Justin Jarvis, who, in just over 385 innings of pitching in the minors, has struck out over 380 batters and got 150 strikeouts in 2022 alone and over 100 strikeouts in 2023. The day after that, all the dominoes started to fall, but a telling move was made when the Mets collected 28-year-old Phil Bickford and 34-year-old Adam Kolarek for some cash, indicating that they intend to be an annoyance for the Braves for the rest of the season. Then, as rumors began to spread that ace right-handed pitcher Justin Verlander might be moved, outfielder Tommy Pham got traded to the Diamondbacks for shortstop Jeremy Rodriguez, a 17-year-old player in his first season in the minors, hitting nearly .250, and has snatched 12 bases in 17 attempts, along with over 10 doubles and 2 home runs. Then, rumor became fact when Houston made a deal with the Mets to acquire Justin Verlander. They sent outfielder Drew Gilbert, who's only 22 years old. In over 340 at-bats, he has nearly 100 hits, 20 doubles, over a dozen home runs, and has driven in over 40 RBIs. He's hitting a comfortable .278 and ended 2022 with a .313 batting average. Outfielder Ryan Clifford was also traded, whose value is in his utility, owning perfect fielding percentages in 7 games at first base and 32 games in left field, in addition to a .957 percentage playing in right field. At the plate, Clifford has smacked over 100 hits in less than 400 at-bats, with 20 doubles and 20 home runs. Keeping the momentum going, their final deal sent right-handed pitcher Dominic Leone to the Los Angeles Angels for shortstop Jeremiah Jackson, who in 5 years in the minors has collected over 300 hits, over 80 doubles, over 65 home runs, and over 225 RBI. The 23-year-old has had a few bad showings once or twice, but his fielding percentages remain solid, with a career minor league fielding percentage of .914 at second base, .968 at third base, .909 at shortstop, and .968 out in left and in center. Looks to me like they have their post-Lindor prospect in place and might be looking to make some moves in the next few years to get the pitching that they need to compete with Atlanta. Alright, we've gone over the trade deadline sellers. Which deals do you think were good and which were bad? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.